world to the Caribbean.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and/or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind. Greetings, 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 greetings. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Reasoning Thursdays. Each and every Thursdays, right here on the Powerhouse Radio from 8 p.m. up until the 9 o'clock hour. And you know, if we need to go over sometime, not all the time, sometimes we will. Well, welcome. We have Zephyr in the house with us. Mama Acid is going to join us in a few minutes. And as we continue our reasoning, some from last week and some new topics that are going on, new situations that are going on right now, because you know, every day it's something new. So we want to invite you to tell a friend and a friend and a family member and have them to log on if they don't have Facebook or on YouTube. If they don't have YouTube, then do go and listen to us via our normal settings, and that's www.dapowerhouseradio.com. Also, you can listen to us on your telephone lines at 667-930-9036. And also, you could use the TuneIn app. And ooh, it's raining and thundering on this end. So if I go in and out, I'm hoping not. Um, but also, you can listen to us on our TuneIn on the TuneIn app. That's DA space Powerhouse Radio, and you can pull us up that way as well. All righty. Numbers right here in the studio, and the telephone lines are working, and it is up. And you know what? I found out what was happening last week, and I think we corrected it. And so it's a good thing. We're waiting on Mama Acid to come on, and we're gonna play serious times. Okay. QQ, we're gonna touch that one because it's some serious time right now. But
Yeah.
let me go on and welcome Sister Queen Zephyr. How you doing?
I'm splentabulous, dear, and I'm so happy to be here with you tonight
Oh,
because you always have the hot topics pan Thursday, Reason Thursday. So may I have to come in at this one here tonight?
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And you can come into it as well. Just dial the number 706-955-2001. Or we may can pull up one and two persons. Just send us an email at dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com if you wanted to get live with us as well. Alrighty, so that's dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com. Well, it is a splentabulous day, fantabuloso day, as I say, and we're gonna touch. I wanted to just touch this a small little piece of it because we're on some serious, serious times. You know what I mean? Well, you know, we definitely have to touch what's going on in Jamaica. We're definitely going to touch that. So, we're we're touching the still on the rape culture as well. And you know, great one and two little announcements. And once again, want to encourage each and every one support Black business, and also, you know, get the vote. The voting is next week or week after next. We're gonna touch a little beanie bit of that as well. But we're just gonna kick it off with just a little vibes in. Want to say big up once again to each and everyone listening to us near and far. And no matter what outlet that you're listening to us, happy birthday to those who are celebrating a birthday. Happy anniversary to those who are celebrating an anniversary. Want to send my love and my embrace to each and everyone who is
All I
going
can
through
see
a
around us is
difficult
just violence
time
and crime.
right
Full
now.
time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful night. This is seven times rise and seven times fall. But I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life
Just
continues
a
as
little
it
snippet
goes.
of
If you
it.
really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. Oh, no, 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 no. So I said, these are some serious.
Serious time, Sister Zephyr.
Serious.
Yeah, serious time. Yeah, man. I'm telling you. We're waiting on Mama Acid also to join, but while we just gonna go on and converse
She soon come, man. She soon pop in.
so a little bit. Man, I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. It's well, in this lifetime, I don't think anything is really unbelievable. Because at this we just have to just think the unthinkable. We have to just think the unthinkable
We're
because
witnessing. We're
last
witnessing
week
everything.
the unthinkable, huh? Because last week we were reasoning on this alleged cult leader, and last week kicking and talking a whole bunch of mess, and this week he is said to be dead. That is I put on it upon my page the other day. Is it accident, or was it a hit? We
You
have to
don't
ask
know.
questions. We
Accident
have
on
to ask
paper. On
questions.
paper, on police report, it's an accident. But we don't know how this thing is set, man.
Come on. You know what I mean? It's just
Him know too much.
he couldn't
All
have,
of them in
you know,
power
he
and a whole heap of
couldn't have,
wealth and all. They know how they got it. Some people get it honestly, hard work.
you know,
Some people, when them know, say them not conquerors and victorers, they go to people and say, look, this is what me want to do. And they have to send some part, they have to sell some part of their soul to get it accomplished.
last week I was going to say, well, I said it, but I didn't say it on air. I said it off air to someone, and I said he's not even going to make it to trial. That's what when last before all of this, when myself and a sister of mine was reasoning, and she said, "Lady, what you really think about it?" I said to, "I greetings, Miriam, greetings, cuz how you doing? The London crew, how you doing?" I said it to a sister of mine. I said, "Listen, this man is not even going to make it to trial." And she said, "What
Mm-mm.
you saying?" I said, "Listen, they're gonna take him out. What this is Jamaica. This is Jamaica we talking about, and I'm just sorry that I have to say it that way, but I said it, and I said that I don't think he's going to make it to trial because he knows too much. You understand? They cannot leave. They cannot leave that string, that loose, that untied knot. They have to. It's just well, I would say common sense. You know what I mean? I would say common sense to the whole thing. Was it an accident or was it a hit? How did that car
You
go?
know, it was both, Lady D.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Technically, it was a car accident, technically,
Okay.
but the agenda. was to kill him in
Okay.
an accident. So it can appear to be an accident. And for people who already have so much over the eye they can't see, because people think for some reason if you don't see it with your two eye, it's not real. I don't see with my two eye. I look with my two eye. I
Yeah.
see with my first eye. And it don't take no scientist, no nobody to tell me, say, that was just an accident. No, they
Mary,
all know this man have them up. Them the man don't have the whole of them. Him don't do works for the whole of them. Matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt if they're in power right now because that's something like a sacrifice somebody do for them.
well, Miriam says
How
he
can you
was
be in power and
never.
you're doing like people don't even like people want to know how you even get in
Okay.
there, how you
I-
even run in the country, and then why? Because their works. And when people do works like that kind of work, them kind of sacrificial work.
Okay. Well,
This is done through blood.
one moment on your thoughts. Miriam said he was never ever going to reach court. He knows too much. Had would everybody ship? He was defo taken
Yes,
out.
Miriam. Them take him out.
Yeah, they
Them
definitely
know
took
too
him
much.
out.
But guess
And
what? So do we.
it's a sad thing.
We all
It's a
know
sad,
he ain't the only one.
it's a sad thing. You know what I mean? And when it happened, I got like so many phone calls, and the person that I was reasoning with on it, they said, "You call that one lady, dear." I said, "Boy,
Yeah,
sometimes I don't try to say something because they say me have goat mouth." So I try not to say it because I knew there's too many important people in too many big places. You
yeah.
understand? There was no way that that was going to be possible. Man, it would have been interesting though to see what he what he had to say. Miriam says he knew too much and would sink everybody's ship. He was taken out.
Yes, Miriam. You
Yeah,
don't know.
he definitely was taken. Well, I feel like he was taken out. Now they're talking
I
about,
feel that way
and
too,
then
Lady D.
everybody coming with this. Oh, he's not dead. Then ship him Ghana, Cuba, or them send him Ghana, Florida.
Whatever.
America ain't gonna be in that craziness right there. I don't think so.
Whatever. Them
Unless you
them
have
take him out. Them kill the
something.
man now. Them a hide the body and say them don't even know which part it there. They know exactly what they're doing. The man a wear tree ring, you know. A tree ring, a tree. Look, the man in deep, deep, deep sacrificial ritual. How you think he got to where he is? How you think he can be in Jamaica after being put out of Canada, Philippines, all over the place? Where am I going with
Yeah.
his
Why?
iniquitous act?
All right. How
How you think him?
do I sound
How
a
you think
little
him
bit?
can get put
One
out
moment.
and go back to Jamaica and them don't say nothing about it?
One
Cause them a
moment.
friend.
Do I sound a little bit louder? Callers. I've got a couple of texts that I'm low, so I'm trying to make sure that I sound a little bit louder. So I'm hoping that you all can hear me a little bit louder. Yes. Yes. I'm just here trying to adjust that. I got some text on it too. Um, Alrighty, it says I sound a little bit better. I sound fine now. So yeah, so good. Zephyr, you are hearing me good? Hoping you're hearing me good as well. All right, so you sound. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm still a little low, but okay. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit more. I'm bringing that part up a little bit more, and hopefully I sound a little bit louder right here. Hopefully, I'll sound a little bit louder. Now, tilt this a little bit more to me. Yes. Man, I'm telling you. Yeah, but back to the past the I don't even know what to call him because are we? I guess
But
he
you
did.
know,
He did have a congregation. He did have
well,
followers. So
I'm
are
like
we
this.
supposed? He did have a church because they said if
Look,
we have a church,
whole heap of them have
you're a pastor.
category,
You
Lady D.
huh?
Lady D. The whole heap of them have title. Look at the Catholic priest them title, and they still are going with iniquitous work. Big up yourself,
Yeah.
Mama Acid. Yeah, you see, we pink
All
up the
right.
place
Well,
today. Yeah.
well, greetings, my sister. How are you? Let me try to center myself a little bit because my
Yeah, man. Now we can go on with the thing, yeah.
yeah. So I said we were back to last week. We can't
Mic
hear
check
you,
for Acid.
Acid.
Mic check.
Acid, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Mama Acid. Yeah. Reboot. Talk now. Can't hear you.
Mic check.
All right. So you need to check your mic and stuff. Okay, that might be a little better with me, but I don't have the powerhouse to
Good
do.
evening, Don Minot.
All right.
Big up yourself.
Yeah. That is
Okay, is this microphone working now?
now your
Now
mic.
we can hear you, dear.
Oh boy, it wanted to use the other one. Okay, so
Wait a minute. Miriam says a wolf in a sheep clothing. That's you to call him. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Miriam, because I was trying to figure out with a list of stuff I can call
I
people.
don't
I
think
couldn't come up with
so.
a name.
Greetings,
I don't
Don.
think so.
Greetings, Don.
He
Thank you
had
for
2 feet. He
coming
didn't have 4 feet. He's not eligible to be a wolf. A wolf would be able to suckle and give birth to the live.
in.
Everything he touches dead.
Well, you know what? Now that you said that, Mama Acid, Lady D, check this out too. The other day, me and Lady D, they're on the phone, I talked about the accident thing, and I said, listen, you see the officer were dead? They needed somebody with kind of pure at heart, because his death wasn't enough to satisfy his, I would say, I'm not sure what you call it, but when you're doing your ritual and them something, then you don't commit to something. When you don't bring it come, them I come for you.
Well, that's what they say. That's what
Them I come for you. I know see them
that's
come for
what
him.
they say
But
in
him
the
so no worthy.
God's
So them have to
will.
text somebody else or 1, 2, 3 people. You see the two
Okay.
what depend ICU or whatever barely can make it and breathe. Hopefully they can pull
You
through.
see,
But if they don't,
a lot of people are, talking about this
yeah.
situation. For those who
Uh,
don't know what we're
Can I ask a question?
wait a
I'm
minute,
going back to my original question. I know I missed something, but
wait a
where
minute, wait a
where I
minute,
want to go back to is someplace different,
wait.
if y'all don't mind.
Acid, one moment. I don't think we're hearing each other. Are we hearing each other when I'm talking? I don't know if
Yes.
I
yeah,
We
hear
hear you
you.
now.
oh, okay. Because sometimes I just keep saying, wait a minute, and you all just keep going, and I'm hearing if y'all hearing me or not. So I'm just trying to make sure. For those who don't, we started out speaking on the cult, the pastor, um, out of in Jamaica, and the of his of he was it a hit or was it an accident? And that's
Which part?
that's where we start out on. Acid,
Yeah, which part?
you just jumped in, Mama Acid. So go ahead. What's your thought on it?
Well, you just said something, but I want to add to that. Which part? So, here's a question. This is a little touchy for me because I did look at the video about Baphomet, and I do understand that sacrifices do happen, and I do understand that this guy could have been a sacrifice, but I think it's something a little bit more sinister that we need to really look at.
Okay.
In politics, people have too many secrets. And when
Yeah.
politics becomes a religion, as it has in many places, including Jamaica, I'm going to have to switch to my laptop.
Okay. So
I hate to do it, but I'm going to just make the statement and I'm going to switch.
yes, come on.
Um, this pastor knew everybody's dirt. The reason he knew everybody's dirt is because he helped them commit it. Now, when exactly now when you know what you are doing and you make people do certain things in order to associate with you, who is the real criminal? Are you the criminal
Deception.
Mm.
Just soon
Voodoo,
come back to it.
voodoo, really.
Yeah.
Okay, Mama Acid is going to change up
She
and then
coming, she's switching.
back.
But
Okay.
the man is a criminal.
Well,
Anybody can put on any title and say what?
what
Look how much
once
tickets.
once again my question was is is it the man or is it the people? If you
Well,
put something out
people
there
believe him.
and these
But then
people
they
are
say, well, I'm
gravitate.
hypnotized and brainwashed. But I'm like this.
Zephyr,
Nobody have that kind of power over me.
Zephyr, how gullible and I guess to the listening audience, how gullible is our people that someone can tell you that this building is an ark and tell you to give you their life. Where is 144 people? No one. I mean, like what someone I heard someone say something about he had like hypnotizing words that he used
They're
to
called
give them.
spells.
He
Words
used his
cast
words to.
spells. Any word that we use,
Mhm.
it casts spells. And I
Yeah.
watched a couple of his videos, and every time I hear him say it's different things, you see, my primary language is frequencies.
Miriam
That's
says
my
you're
primary
just as
language.
bad because you know right from wrong. Sheeps are gullible. Read Animal Farm by George Orwell. Okay, I will have to put that.
You hear what I'm saying, though, Didi? The thing
What did you
is,
say?
you see, once people are looking to belong to something, follow something, worship something, it's so good and all that, you literally can suck yourself in. We're not gonna Don't just limit it to the cult. People choose to worship and praise whatever.
People
And it
choose
may not
to believe.
involve blood sacrifice, but they're still choosing to worship and praise something outside of themselves. People follow all the time. So one thing I don't want people to do, if you a follower, don't talk about other followers.
That is some that, but
Don't
that's
talk
a
about other
dangerous
followers.
thing. I mean, to really, really, you know, an arc. And sometimes you think about these people and you say, but didn't God promise that he wasn't gonna flood the earth again?
Hey, stories. You're repeating stories. Okay, what next? What after the
so
stories? What come after
so
the
how
stories?
could
The
they
reality is still there.
how could they believe that they're going back on an ark? What's the necessity of an ark? That's what the rainbow is for. God said he's not, you know. I sit and I'm just amazed
They're all
that
stories, Didi. People can't believe whichever one of them they want to believe and
oh
follow. But
yes,
let me say
they're gonna
this:
they're
Ark is all symbolic.
the
He
who
is saying it in a symbolic way. They're taking it in a literal way. He's
right and
symbolic.
just the mind of
Yeah,
people to
yeah,
really mental. It brings
yeah.
us to mental illness.
They take it literally, and he is speaking very symbolically.
Is it mental illness that people can really sit? The numbers, the phone lines are open, 706-955-2001. I said you have something on.
She's coming. She's coming. Yeah, she'll be back again. She soon come in, man. She
No, no,
soon
no.
come in. We are
It,
gonna go on
it
through with
was
it.
it was the kids' way opening. They have YMCA, and I touched the thing here, and it came up. But yeah, yeah, Mama Acid is here. Join us back,
Yeah.
and
I
what
know
was
my
that?
question was scandalous.
Yeah, it was
It's
scandalous, and
okay. Who
it
you
left
talking
us
about is scandalous, and
it
holy
left
a
us
whole
in
heap more where I carry
it
title
left
as
us
scandalous.
I want to
Followers
ask
are
another
scandalous
question though.
too.
I want
can
to
you
go back to
repeat
last week.
that again?
Question, Queen Z.
But
You said,
repeat your question that you left off with Acid,
oh
and then
yeah,
go to the next one.
d-
Yeah.
about all the people that that was with him.
Mm.
Him and those people, they knew his secrets, and he knew their secrets because they committed them
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Obviously, they all knew where the bodies are buried. Now, what's going to happen when they finally get the approval to tear down those buildings and start finding all those dead bones? Now,
I know we ain't got to that part yet, but I just
Well,
want to
it's
ask.
gonna happen. It's the inevitable, Mama
It's gonna
Acid.
have to
It's
happen. It's a
inevitable.
crime scene.
Uh-huh. And but do you think that that they were that stupid to leave all of these bones on the property?
I think they may have made a mistake and had buried the bones there before they had the buildings built, and then maybe they tried to crush them and put them into the building itself.
Greetings, cuz. Greetings, cuz. Yes, out of Cayman
People
Islands.
talk about,
I would like to say something about that
bones in the
too.
buildings,
Yeah,
the
because I wonder
concrete.
if they would really bury those, leaving evidence like that, on these properties, and if they're going to really go
One
and
question
research.
about that though, you know something?
Mhm.
Um, this is something that all week long it's been kind of plaguing me, and we've all talked about it. The driver of the other truck is invisible. Could it be a duppy?
You know
They
what?
know
I
they look.
really want
They
to know.
hired the man for do the accident,
No, it's a
and they made
duppy.
sure that his identity was withheld.
It's a duppy.
Okay, Don Minot says religion is centered around a belief. Spirituality is a personal relationship with the life giver and yourself.
When he
I
said life giver, big up yourself, Dan man. What you mean life giver? Cause the only life giver me know say a woman. That's a next day story if you want to take it up.
Well, we need to take that one too about the shaving of the women and the hatefulness and all of this and this
Yeah.
real discussion. But I want to still go back. The
Let's talk about what we're
driver,
talking about.
the driver of the other truck,
right.
the driver of the other truck, and then the other police car, because there was another police car.
Mhm.
What happened to the other police car? Why are they not discussing that? But they telling you why they went down Bagua. They want you to know why they went down Bagua. Look here.
Plots and scheme. Them don't look, them kill the man.
No, no,
Look,
they
that was
went down
first of
Bagua
all,
for a
nobody not
reason.
smart. Them not
No, they
smart.
no, they went for a
They're not smart
reason.
at
Hello,
all.
What happened,
You know
Tifa?
why? Because that is an elementary way for set up somebody for kill them. It's
No,
elementary. The whole of we can read that right
no,
through. And the
no,
woman,
no,
where
no.
I
It
don't
was
even
a
know her name,
tour, Z.
DPP. Them need to just
That was
move
a
her along. Go and
tour.
retire, lady. Go and retire,
Z,
car.
go on.
You don't know
Zephyr,
what you are
Zephyr,
dealing with.
Zephyr.
That's a tour.
Go ahead.
They were creating an evidence trail. It was a tour
Yes.
where people could say, we saw him go past in the car. They don't know he was dead already because they
Already.
didn't get that close to him. They didn't
Look at the
realize
man
and
there.
see all of the scars and everything on him because they had him in a car that was
So
dark.
your theory is he was already dead in the
Them
car
kill the man. They broke him
Yeah,
when
he
neck.
was
they
dead.
when
Okay,
they
so
came
let's let can
when
we
they
can we skip all the formalities and get right to the evening?
Hey, good
What
evening,
happened, Loretta?
lovely
Hey,
ladies. Good
Loretta.
evening, good evening. Cause how
I
you
want to get
doing?
to a ugly part of this that I know a lot of people probably don't want to go to, but I want to go there because I think it's important.
Okay, okay.
Y'all know where I'm going.
Let's
Go.
go.
We're with you.
What are you saying?
Who got the tapes and who has the money?
Who got the laptop? That's what I
No,
want to
the
know.
laptop don't matter. The laptop is the tapes. You know the
They got a lot of
security tapes
information
from the
on that
house?
laptop.
Security tapes from the house? Security tapes
All
from his
that.
office at the mission at the Ark?
They know he was messing with boys. They can
No, I
see it.
mean it's more than that. I want to know
Yeah,
who were the politicians and other people who
yeah. That
came
came
there
to
to
the
see him,
house.
and they
We
had vocals on these tapes that would tell us what they were talking about.
we will never. That is something that is never going to come out.
Don't believe that.
I don't think
It's
that.
out
I
now.
don't
It's
think
out
that.
now.
Wait,
They may not
Lady
admit
D,
to it,
It's
but we
out.
Lady
don't
D,
know.
It's
calm
nothing
yourself.
now.
Calm
It's all
yourself.
about
Just calm yourself. Simmer down, Lady D. Let me
it's
say
all
this.
about speculations.
Do you think people in Jamaica don't talk? People in Jamaica is worse than refrigerator. It stay open.
Oh yeah, they're gonna talk. They're gonna talk. But as far as
Your
evidence,
whole kitchen cold all the
as
time.
far as evidence, there is not going to be any evidence. against anyone of, let's call it power.
Evidence. What do
Any
you
of
call
the,
evidence?
any
Because
of,
we
any
know.
of the police
She left one
officers
word out: released,
released. Okay.
because
Whether
they
they
gonna pay
are
blackmail.
senators,
Well, might meet some
politicians,
black females too, but
whatever they are, whatever they are, whatever they are, okay,
these
they're
are
not.
rich people. The people who finally released the information about his arrest last week. We heard originally, because I had heard about it. Queasy said
Mhm.
he's a known pedophile deportee because he'd been to several places where he was deported for this activity. One of those places is the Philippines. Somebody in the Philippines sent the tape. The tape is in Jamaica. Now, another thing, he went to Thailand. In Thailand they got those lady boys. So you see in front of the altar, he got that Thai wood carving that be sitting out there in the front. And I kept thinking to myself, is some connection with this thing that he's got out there, because he's not Buddhist. So why does he have a Buddhist statue, which would be pagan? First thing, let's go there. Pagan.
Look at all of the colors behind his desk. Look
No,
at the
no, the gay
logo.
flag. Call it
Adult
the
and
gay flag
child.
because it's the gay flag.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Whatever they want to
We
call
already
it.
know it's already circulating about what we, and I think we went over a lot of this last week. But what I want to talk on is the assassination hit, or was it really an accident?
It
And
couldn't
They
have been an
killed the
accident.
man. No, they can't
and
find the body.
Well, it
Come
was an
on now, it's all
accident that all
set
the
up.
evidence
and
got
I
out
want to
now.
in
You're right. It was
in
an
talking
accident that
about
the
this,
evidence got out.
yeah,
We
and
know they killed
talking
him.
about this, we need to have answers as to the citizens of Jamaica need to have answers
Oh,
Them
well,
killed the
as
let me
man.
to,
ask a question.
wait a minute,
Them
as
killed the man.
to
Him know too
the
much.
full detail of uh, of transport for this pastor,
No,
the
no,
full
no, no.
detail.
We need to go
I'm
to
not
the
understanding.
autopsy.
I'm not understanding how. Okay, let's say he was alive, hypothetically, and then we'll get to if he was dead in the car. But I'm speaking if this was a live transport, because all the speculations, as according to what they're saying, this was a live transport from one police station to another police station. Now, what kind of detailed? This is a high profile case. This is a high profile individual. The circumstance of the entire case is high profile, is very risky. It's dangerous. Someone was killed. People were killed.
Hey, like I
So
said, they created
there can be
evidence.
people out there
Get to the
waiting for them
helicopter
to move.
question.
I don't understand the convoy of the whole thing. You just have one car in front. First of
It's
all,
a
he's in the city car.
setup, Lady
Get, get,
D.
get,
He
get to the
could have been
helicopter
in an
question.
They
armored
never
car.
had to. They never
You
had to listen. They just
okay?
had to do the,
Let me
the, the
complete my
smallest
thought.
amount of thing.
Let me complete my thought, please. You have one car in front and nothing behind. You have this soft car that you have this person driving in. Okay. And you know what even it was even so more telling and crazy about it? It's a big old white SUV that hits this little
No,
car
it's a new Ford Explorer truck. One of them
with the
four
detail.
passenger pickup
With
truck.
the detail, there needs to be answers as to why the detail was as skimmish, and whomever put together that detail needs to be charged and held accountable. You
They
know,
already knew,
No, no,
Didi.
no, no.
we
Come on.
know
Let's
that
let's
they
let's just
okay.
They
take the
So
already
covers off the
knew.
I
And they
bed.
know
said
within
them
our
Let's
put
just
on the
take
realm.
the
bed to
covers off the
slap
bed.
you.
That's just too
They
nice.
sloppy. It's
Can we
sloppy
hype
what them
him?
doing.
No, they was
Can we hype him
creating
up a little bit?
evidence. They had to show him appearing to be alive because they couldn't say that they had already killed him by order of so and so. We can't say who so and so is,
And that's
even though we all
and what
heard
I'm
Them
and we
saying.
got
116s of
speculation.
Jamaica, now ramp with it. Them no want them name calling,
Well,
not
wait,
just
wait.
Jamaica.
Let me ask. Let me ask.
With this
Why do you
hypothetical.
think the Gleaner and the Observer are publishing so many details about certain people like Minister Justice Llewellyn?
So Miriam says, since when did the hierarchy value the opinion of the people of Jamaica? They will do their hardest to keep them dumbed down in ignorant bliss.
I
Okay, let me
agree,
wait.
Miriam.
We ain't got down to that yet. Let me go right there. Since y'all just
Good
don't
that
want
you
to,
agree with her.
y'all, I got a suspicion, but I want to bring it to y'all.
Go
We
bring it.
got three suspects, but one of the suspects, only one suspect has the means and the real reasoning to commit this crime. And I want to just get to it right now. I'm
Get it.
tired. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I got to find FEMA paperwork. Need to get a check.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All
Get
right.
it.
So the only person who had motive and means is Vibes Cartel. I'm not blaming Vibes Cartel, but I'm saying Vibes Cartel could have been a motivation for this to happen in the sense that him and the preacher had a certain type of a bad mix up. Okay, the discussion, and then the way the preacher Vibe Cartel and certain other things during the period of time when Vibes Cartel was on trial. So Vibes Cartel tried to get his support. He didn't support Cartel. Cartel cash is stacking up so high right now. He trying to find a way to spend it. So somebody said, "Hey, you know what? This might be a good time to do a little cleanup work so that you can get a little blackmail leverage for your new trial because what you got to do is you got to create the ticket for your new trial. And the only way you can do that is to eliminate the people who are preventing you from getting a trial. And who would that be? That would be Minister of Justice Llewellyn, the same person who put him in jail. When Cartel was transported, Cartel is a producer and an entrepreneur and a rapper. Why did they use an armored vehicle with three other armored vehicles around them and a whole cortege full of police
Yeah.
on not just Jeep and also motorcycles, but they had snipers. Snipers when they took out Vibes Cartel. Look, all right, I remember things. Me and Lady D ain't discussed this. So she's sitting there herself collecting what I'm saying. So look at her. See, look upon her face. Look upon her face. Truth, a shine true. Because she never heard me say one word I'm saying right now. And listen to this. Junglists say people collecting money from bottle caps because they tired of the disrespect in their faces direct and they can't do nothing about it. So some big man family got disrespect up in the ark. I don't know who these people are, but I heard it costs a lot of money and that some of the female members of the family went up there and they were so disrespected by this guy because I don't want to say what his name is, whatever. He had them stripped buck naked and then told some other people to go get his shears so he could
I
shave
don't
off
want this here
a
scene.
woman's personal parts so
Me
he
not
could
in it.
bless them
I,
with some oil. This is not a
That
small
alone should I
discussion
tell
because
them.
then on another tape
so
they
what is
show him saying women coming up in here putting on too much lipstick like poom poom tired in our work.
You see, the man,
listen.
the man
Anyway, he's
salt.
dead. He's dead and gone. And I just
Listen, the
We don't know
body
that. We
prove
don't
the
know that.
dust.
The people in the
Hold on.
funeral home said they
Anything,
still waiting. They watching the clock. I watched the video. They say he's still
listen,
here right now, but we don't know. He's like Jesus. He could come back within 7 days. So
with
they're gonna
him
keep
not
him
come
here and
back.
watch
But may
him.
I tell
I'm
you
watching
this?
every day.
I'm waiting for the seventh day.
Let me
Right,
say
me
And
this.
too.
I would say
Lady
to
D,
all
Mama
things,
Acid. Let me
yes,
say this.
Deborah. Go ahead.
his body returned to the dust. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Spirit is energy. It changed forms. He will surface because
Okay.
he will find that energy will find a host, a
Okay.
body, a person, a life, and come forward again and again and again.
I
Every
get
time. You
that.
think Jim Jones, when him dead,
He's
him never
evil.
find a horse?
Right.
When him body return to the
What
dust, the
I
energies
what a lot
find
of
a
power.
different form.
What a lot of power that we are giving to this man or this thing or this.
I don't think we giving him power. I
I don't
think
think we're giving him power. It's the
we are
reality of how this thing
acknowledging the
works.
power of the
You
It's how
universe
know,
it
that
works.
we can't control.
We're
Just like the
energy.
so
discussion
We change
about
forms.
Baphomet.
we're
Yeah, we
energy.
change
So,
forms. That's it. Bodies
but
return
you
to the
see,
dust. Nobody in
sometimes
the
when you,
strong dead
sometimes
and just deso and nobody not. No, the spirit don't die. It
no,
evolves. It just
no,
moves
because
and
if the
find
spirit
another
dies,
host, and he will find
then
another host. Someone else will continue the works. They're doing it till
but
now.
the works is already continuing. The work has never stopped.
Never
People
stop.
people are still. I want to say Donna Moody, big ups yourself. Jim Jones never died. Okay, I mean,
Body dies. Energy
if
don't.
you want to say spirit and spirit go from, that's when you, the way sometimes when we word things and we put it as if this one person, the way we say it, it's like we're saying, oh, this person has, you're making it more, how would you say it? Don Minded says, I agree with Lady D. This topic is not that important. You know what I'm saying? He's just, he's
No, we're not talking about him. We're talking about him as a symptom of problems
Yeah,
of
we're not
people
talking about him
looking
as
for
a
someone to
person.
and you know what?
lead them.
There
We're
are
speaking about
still
the works who
people.
are going wrong him.
Yeah, but they are still, they are, or I even just, lost my train of thought.
Some of us know
I'll tell
because some
you.
of us can see. Some no know because
Okay.
them can't see. So take
What
your time and learn
he's
and
not the
evolve
first,
because you
he's
can't
not the
see.
first pastor to do this.
Yeah,
It's going
right.
on right now. It's going on right now. Here, there, everywhere.
And
It's just that
everywhere.
Exactly.
it's something that has not taken place and or out in the open for all of these years, that this is such a huge topic, and it's what's hot now. So but we're giving him too much strength.
It's not
We're
him. We're
giving
talking
him
about
too much
cults.
energies
We're talking
because
about cults.
yeah,
It's not the
with the
first
cult.
cult that was in Jamaica. You know that in the 60s they put some Rastas on trial and took their lives. They hung them from
Mm.
Coral Gardens because they said it was a cult and it was too many people following them. Did you know that?
They say Rasta was a cult.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
in the
That's why they start kill them
1960s.
religion is a
off.
cult. Religion is a cult.
It is.
They
It's a
have their
cult to death.
Religion, but they would never say religion is a
Religion.
cult.
One more time, let's follow the
Religion. They
lie
never
of the
say
devil.
religion is a cult. They will point at everything
Religion.
else,
Let's one
but they would never say
read
religion is a
one
cult.
more time. Let's recognize and then follow the devil. I think no person with good sense would keep doing this if they did,
Yes,
if they could just recognize with their own spiritual fortitude exactly what has to happen, because you can't put yourself in a position where you don't have control over what's going on in your life. And one of the things that I think precipitated certain persons finally getting ready to get rid of certain types of cultists, because cultists all over the world are pretty much just losing it. So one of the cults, another cult I want to talk about, is the cult of money. How this cult of money is involved in religion and what it is doing in Jamaica and other places.
money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Wherever it is, it's the root to all evil. Donna Moody says, yes, religion is a cult. Rasta is not a religion, it's a way of life.
Exactly. I agree
Okay.
too.
All
100,
right.
wait a minute. 100%, sis, right here for my whole life. Okay. right here, rest upon my heart for my whole life. So the thing is this. What I'm talking about is people who don't want to take responsibility for making their own choices and living the truth of their own decisions. One of the real parts of this that affect groups of people more is when people don't have much hope. They suddenly latch on to something like this because they believe
Yes.
that the bigger myth can actually sustain them.
Miriam says cultists prey on the weak and the vulnerable.
So the question is this: how do you fight that? How do you fight that persona when people prop it up and make it as big as this man who has now basically penetrated every news source in the entire world?
I
Even
would
though
like
we all knew he was a criminal before this, a pedophile and other things, and a
Yeah.
convicted, he was deported. And even Llewellyn won't admit to that. The fact that she is the deputy minister of justice
yeah.
and she won't admit that he was deported into Jamaica. Jamaica, let's have a bigger discussion about the criminal sex crimes issues that Jamaica is having.
Oh,
Look,
Donna Moody
this is
says the
crazy.
cult just buried my mom in 2018 and she was alive.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, Donna. We just,
Pray for
My
Donna.
heart,
yeah,
sis, my heart.
receive our sympathy for that, because people are drawn in. People are drawn in because they believe in something. Okay. Now,
Because they don't believe in themselves.
they don't. Now, my point was, you see, when we are believing things outside of ourselves and we don't even know ourselves, these are the type of things that happen because we're steady looking and grasping for straws. Okay, yes, and I did want to. I know siblings. I said something. I did want to touch on something. Now, Donna Moody has says yes, religion is a cause. Rasta is not a
She's
religion;
just
it's
a
a way of life. Let me
pedophile.
explain something about Rasta. Because at the age of 14, I thought, hey, me a Rasta, can me love them and me identify with things. But when me tell them say, when me and the elders are sit on wrong, the thing, I mean, my big cousins, them, I carry me wrong elders and thing, and me tell them, say, I don't think Selassie is God, and I don't think man is, them run me, them burn me out and tell me, say, me can't be Rasta unless me think, say, unless me know, say, Selassie is God, and me tell them, say, well, then I'm not Rasta then, because me can't say Selassie is God, right? So that's one thing. However, and Rasta, and I'm saying about Rasta, cause me have whole heap of brethren and sister until now them can look for me right now, know so me love them. Because I know people as people, not as their category. Cause you could be Rasta and you're not right in your heart, I'm gonna deal with you. You could be anybody and you're not right in the heart, I don't deal with you. Right? So what I'm saying, Rasta, when them a chant and a talk and a reason, they quote in the Bible. Look how Brigadier
Only
Jerry
the
would have
Old Testament.
up on the mic when
They don't
dancehall
mess with
first
the
and
New
leaving them
Testament.
thing there. Enough of them man, they get on the mic and I chant verses from the Bible. And people are big them up, right? So they are following doctrines. So
Yeah.
maybe a way of life, yeah, but they still following doctrines. They still commit themselves to some form of religion. What we know as religion, because any book will come under any of them are religion. So that is why we say what we say. Okay, because everybody feel the wrath of this whole thing, yeah. Christians are point to Rasta and say, you're a disbeliever, you're not a non-believer, you're for dead and all them things there. Imagine a Christian, a Muslim, and everybody will tell you different things. But okay, yes, Sybil, I talk about Eddie Long. Yeah, look at Eddie
Sybil
Long.
Winston says, just like Eddie Long, he was one of them. This church member worshipped him. He didn't do anything that was
And
wrong.
that's right.
And
And when them come out and
everybody,
the young man them come out and start talk about what Eddie Long do them, the whole congregation back Eddie Long. They didn't listen to the youth. That's a problem. We're not
because
listening
what the
to the
what the
youth.
problem is, what the problem is that people go to these places to worship man. You
Man,
know,
them a
they go
worship.
and they said they're worshiping God, but in actuality, they're worshiping this man that is standing in front of them, and this man that is standing in front of them, they forget that he is a man. flesh and blood. And he is capable of doing all these things. You know what I mean? And he has a better connection to God, to the higher force than you do, you
So
know.
they
And
say.
so
That's
they
what I'm
say
saying. Let's quote that.
that, yeah, but so they say, but that is what a lot of members believe.
Okay, but how do they
That's what
demonstrate
they
that?
believe.
Do people ask them to demonstrate it?
When you ask that question, when you say people ask them to demonstrate, to park this, to park the go to Stone Mountain Park and park the river, like, I mean, like,
This
Well, I don't
teacher
think anyone
told
asked them to
me,
demonstrate Mama Acid because people just they listen, they hear your story, they like it, and then they just go with it.
Mama
They
acid, I
just
want
go with
you to
it.
come
Them
TikTok.
embrace it and just go on the works will follow it. They don't really, to me, if someone is indoctrinated, a lot of times they have no constructive criticism. Like they don't really constructively think for themselves because they are steadily following some kind of order, some kind of doctrine, some kind of vow or something.
But that is
And
what
I'm going
most
to
of the
say this.
religion,
This
that is what
man
most of the
was
religion does. They have each person have gravitate to one part of the Bible, or they or when this faith says don't wear jewelry, they say, listen, I want to wear my jewelry. Let me go over to this denomination. And then this denomination allow you to wear jewelry and allows you to, wear your go out partying. And then this one doesn't. So that's how all of these things become. But Mama Acid, you asked the question because, or you made the statement because I know you were going somewhere. So where were you going with it?
do you think that people that don't want to think for themselves and just want to follow someone else are doing it because they just want to take the easy way out?
I don't think they know the difference.
Donna Moody says there are a lot of Rastafarians that don't think Selassie is God. They worship him as a great man.
All right. So guess what?
The historical
Let them
figure.
sit. Let them sit in a circle with some diehard
Oh, I've been through the Bobo.
Rasta
I've
and
been
hear what
through
them
the
man know
Naya
I gotta tell
Bingy.
them. Say,
I've been
Yes,
through the
and
they're
Bobo
gonna bun
tribe,
them
all of
out.
that.
I don't think
They're gonna bun them out.
I don't think Donna
I've
Moody
been
was
through that.
not saying. She said there is a lot of people that don't, and there is
Right.
some
But I'm
that
saying
do.
if
So
they
But
even
aren't,
in
then the
Rastafari, they have their own thoughts on things. Some think
okay,
and some don't.
Lady
you see
D.
Rastafarian thing
Mhm.
start when them I start with the Selassie thing. So if Selassie involved in your meditation, then
Mhm.
you are not considered Rasta, which is fine with me. Because
Okay.
from them tell me that, me just start ease out myself because I don't know one thing. I will stand in my own powers. I will stand in my own strength and my own meditation. I don't need no man or woman to say them a god or goddess over me. Now, I
Okay.
can connect with energies, but I will always stand in my powers. So big up to everybody. You see, once you faithful to your beliefs and thing,
That's
respect
it.
because at least you're
That's
true
it.
to you and what you believe in.
You have
But
to be.
we are talking about people we're putting on false categories so that they can facade themselves, mask themselves, for trap you and draw you in the pit
Okay,
with
can
them.
I add two
That's what we're
things?
talking about.
One, I like
Go
that
ahead,
because that's
Mama Acid.
definitely gonna
Add
work. But
Mhm.
this thing that I'm talking about, okay, yeah, I went to Bull Bay, I went to Bobo Camp, I didn't been to all of it. I didn't seen the whole Prince Emmanuel thing. Okay, I've been there. I know Charles Taylor.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't get that privilege. I was
That's
lucky.
right.
I went there. I was invited in. I was told what to do. I was told where to stand. I was told to be quiet and to observe because that's all the doctor them is allowed.
Mhm.
To do. Woman can't chat and say nothing. Don't even open your mouth. Zip it. Zip your lip. Cause when them see you a woman, them say them don't see you as a secondary person.
Yeah.
Them not see you as primary.
So why do you feel that women is in that? way of life?
No,
Since this is
this
the
Submissiveness.
way of life,
no,
Submissiveness.
why do
no,
you think
no, that's
women?
not
They're
it.
programmed to believe they're lesser than me.
That's
No
not
know.
it.
So,
But
so
I don't
meaning,
know.
so
Me no in
so
it.
because you come with program to believe and to live that lifestyle, is that a cult?
Okay,
Are
so
they being programmed to? I mean, if we're gonna go there, let's go there. But
Right.
before
It
Acid
may not
wanted to,
include blood.
before we go there, Mama Acid wanted to add. You said you wanted to make 2 points. Go ahead.
yep. The second one is even more dangerous.
Okay.
The brides of Christ. I know a lot of women
Put
don't
it
know
on
about
there,
this.
Mama Acid. Go on through.
A lot of women don't want to hear about it, and a lot of women wish people would stop discussing it, but I'm going to bring it back one more time.
Go ahead.
Oh, Lord, please help me get through this because I know somebody is going to be offended. The brides of Christ say they do not marry their husband, they marry Jesus Christ. They do not follow their husband, they follow Jesus Christ because Jesus is the head of their life and the head of their household. Now, if the preacher called them and tell them come do something, it is because Jesus told them to do it and they go and they do it, including clean the pastor house, go out and stand on the corner and get pastor money by collecting from cars with cans, doing food drives, selling fish dinners, whatever is necessary. It depends upon
Whatever is
which
necessary.
particular religion you get involved in that has their version of it. But the Brides of Christ started in America back in the early 1900s, and it was these women who came from organizations like Father Divine and Prophet Jones because they said, you don't have to do anything. We will take care of you. We will take care of you. Come to us. We'll provide your clothes. We'll provide your shelter. We'll provide you a place to work. We will give you direction. We will give you religious information to believe. And then you give all your money and your labor to us because this is what Jesus wants you to do. So many people want to be the bride of Christ and to know that this theory is still being passed around and preachers are calling it different things: obedience to the Lord, being equally yoked. White women did it for an organization called XYXS or something like that.
Don
And
Minus.
they had sex with the leader and got branded on their arms, and they went out and did all kind of things for this organization. Now this organization is in the news. You can go on Netflix and look at a documentary of them, and their leaders have all been convicted of sex trafficking and sexual abuse, um, all kind of financial crimes and racketeering and RICO, and sending women across lines to go and do different things. And the little girls that would come with the women, they groomed them and sent them out. Well, this is just part of a whole group of organizations that have done this all around the world. And, to me, one of the biggest ones that I really want to hit back at, which they are trying to fall into, is the representation of the so-called Roman Catholic Church.
Okay, hold the thought there. Don Minus says weak-minded people.
Some people
And
don't have a
KR
mind.
Johnson says that's interesting.
Hey,
Some
And
people
KR
don't have a mind.
Johnson.
Miriam said Brides of Christ, in
That's
my
right.
opinion, was
That's
taken from
exactly
Catholics,
right.
i.e. nuns, and
Exactly.
taken to another level by cult leaders.
Exactly. That's
Not just
exactly
cult
what it
leaders. If you're
was.
talking about nuns, the same
Right.
Catholic priests them, breed them,
Right.
abort babies and
Right.
bury them alive because
Exactly.
them you're supposed to have a certain type of status. None not supposed to in and nothing with nobody and having baby and all them something there. The same priest them when I'm
and they
married to
and they
nobody.
covered them up,
I
and
breed
not
up
just
the nun them
the
and
weird
abort
thing
the
about it.
baby them and
Did you
bury
look at
them.
all the pictures
Finish,
of him
finish
in
your
this
thought,
Catholic
Acid.
attire? He's got the bishop's. He got the bishop's fish hat on. He's got the bishop's robes on, and he claims that he doesn't claim any particular ecumenical religion. He is a freestyler. He is his own God. So we don't understand, like, this particular cult comes with a combination of a lot of things, including sex practices that were really defined in denigrating women, which bothers me because if they're
Pedophilia.
supposed to be Christians, they love Jesus and they love the mother of Jesus. So that
Um,
bothered me. And then, yeah,
Yes,
all those
Miriam.
dead babies. We
You
don't even
don't
want to
know.
talk about the Catholic Church. I mean, the Catholic Church in Ireland, and how they would have the unwed mothers' homes, and they would have the women come stay there, and then they would give birth, and they would have the women work in these horrible conditions, just basically
Yeah.
poorhouses. The women get tuberculosis. They kill the baby, and then they bury the baby, and then they buried the women. This went on until the 1970s,
Yep.
I believe, and it's being investigated right now. Just
well,
go and look in the New York Times, you'll
for
see it.
our listeners that are listening via the DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com on our telephone line 667-930-9036 and through our tuning apps. We have to read um the comment that was made then, since Mama Acid was addressing it as well. Miriam says, yes, sis, I know about all those dead babies buried in the crypts of those churches. And KR Johnson says, hello, ladies. Greetings to you, KR Johnson. Go ahead, Acid. Please
One
continue.
of the things that bothered me most about looking at all of the ecumenical connections to this particular cult in Jamaica is that I wanted to reflect back on a couple other cults in Jamaica that don't get much discussion. And one is the Jehovah Witnesses and their sadosexual practices from their elders molesting young girls and boys in their congregations and covering it up, because they have a practice where you have to come and stand before the elders and you have to have two people with you in order to confirm that it happened. They don't take your word for it. So they destroy you and then they excommunicate you, and you're shunned. You're put out of the church, you put out of the family. Your family has to ignore you. They have to act like you don't exist, and then you don't go to the police. So recently, some of these people decided, hey, we're not going to take this anymore, and they went to the police. And now it is busting wide open. A bunch of Jehovah Witness elders have been accused, and some of them, they've even taken DNA evidence from them to prove that these sexual assaults happened, because some of them happened not that long ago. Now, a
Yep.
couple of them even fathered children with people in the church and then relocated them to prevent their present family from knowing that they had these outside babies. And the church took care of them. That happened in a lot of different churches, but particularly interesting in this is that in this particular case about this church in Mo Bay, it doesn't call itself a church, it calls itself a ministry. And then it also, they talked about him having a daughter. Where's the wife or the
And a
mother of the
wife.
baby?
And look, and a wife. He has a wife in Canada that caught him with men.
Well, we know he got deported from Canada.
He had a wife in Canada too. She caught him multiple times with men.
I saw him spitting in
The
those
man is a
women's
predator.
faces.
The man is a predator. The man is a pedophile. And all I may have to say is the body, I don't care if them find the body or not. The man now rise, because the man is not no kind of ascension or anything like that. Them a hide, them a cover up things. But I'm saying this, bodies return to the dust all day long. But the
Ashes to
spirit, all
ashes.
it does is change form. The spirit don't die. That man's spirit not dead. It will find a horse and it's gonna come for you. All
Now
you
that's
who
the
believe
problem.
in I am, or you want talk. That's why me really not blow no fire and fire no shut off for the man. Cause me no want him to come for start for return to send and all them something there. But me don't know in my space, this man, him work, he's a worker of iniquities.
Mhm.
And him find him way in at the church with weak-minded. When I say weak-minded people, don't be offended. I'm saying that you weren't there enough to know that this man is pulling wool over your eye. Me say
Yeah, let's
wool
go to
because you
that
are
point.
sheep.
Let's go to that point about investigating preachers and these different organizations and credentials, because you see somebody with a whole bunch of letters after their name. Have
Yeah.
you ever asked them what those letters mean and where they receive those letters and what organizations endorse them, and looked into those credentials before you put your faith into this
Yeah.
particular person? I want to speak about that personally
Because you have
because
some
I've had that problem.
giving, you have some pastors that are just giving um um titles to
Yeah.
other pastors
Like
That's
that
all
His
were
it is.
underneath
Excellency.
them for, if they were underneath them for, let's say, a couple of months or a year, they give them titles. They move from deacon to minister to, they do some ordinations and
Yes.
Does that include education? Does that include a willingness to
some
be
of
a good
it,
servant to
they
a
do,
flock?
go to what they call it, seminary school, what they call it, the theology school.
Yeah, when they go to look, they go, they tell
Yeah,
them what to do, they
that's where
graduate them,
that's where
certify them, and
I
tell them
went
to
to a
go and get a
university, but
church.
I was in a theology
and
department.
then when there's some of them that have not gone to school, they are under a minister for that church for X amount of time, years, whatever, and they can ordain them.
What do they do under that person that they're under? What are the requirements and what do
They
they
were
need to do
they
in
they
order to
were
be
active members.
ordained?
They were active members. They were loyal, I guess, to that particular minister and their ministry and what their um, procedures are for that particular church.
So you could just go there and they say wear Nike shoes every week and you
KR
can
says,
you
I
And
can
believe
everybody
achieve
will wear
that.
Nike shoes every week because them a follower.
yeah.
They
So
would
then you
listen,
get
whatever the
approved
man
because you
or
wore the
whatever
and
Nike
command
and then
there
and if
shoes.
asks,
there's
that's
any
what they will do.
pastors or um persons that know about this, then feel free to chime in. The telephone, oops, it went out. The telephone line is open, and so you can definitely call in if you if I'm saying something that's not so.
One of the curiosities about that, them appointing people in these positions as ministers and bishops and whatever else they appoint them, I'm curious about that because I went to school to get my doctorate in religious history, and quite honestly, they don't ordain you at the end. They have you sit before some people and they ask you a bunch of questions about the stuff you wrote about. And they ask you some questions about things that they know you should be able to answer if you plan to talk to people about it so that you can demonstrate your knowledge. It takes about 3 hours to sit there and explain, or as they call it, defend your chair.
All right.
I've defended my chair twice. So all I can say is this: I can't figure out his credentials. I'm talking about that guy. I keep trying to find out what organization he was with because I was looking at the other guys that had on the pink collars and
It's not
they,
in the collar, dear. It's in the rings. What rings does he have on
but
his
he had
finger?
on a ring that didn't have anything to do with a religion.
Well, he has 3 rings on his fingers. If you look at all his videos, him hand full up of rings.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the rings. We see when they make arrangements with lower entities because they want power and money, and not only they're doing it for themselves, they're doing it for other people, politicians and all them. When they do those things, you see, you're bonded. So you have a ring or chain or something.
I ain't
It's
got
like
no
when you
ring.
have godchildren in Ifa. You see, they have a whole lot of
Oh, I have my
necklace and
collars.
bracelets
I got
and
my Lekes, baby.
leckers and stuff, you know, and they have a whole heap, and them a wear it up for identify themselves. If them
Certain
want to know
times you
about
wear
me,
them, certain times you don't. You
you
leave
want to know
them
about me, you see
alone.
my leckers, yeah? You see all them
Mhm.
big, I'm in a farm and knockout, me not in a no blood sacrifice. But
Yeah.
me have some
But you know,
leckers where you
there's a
probably never
lot
see
of
before. A peer high priestess, you see where them me are leckers. Eh? But me
yeah.
no in a no blood sacrifice. Me no do no ifa. Nobody no rule my head.
All right.
Nobody can take my
And
head. Me no business with them
you
attack.
know, when you all were mentioning ring and all of that, there is years upon years you hear people talking about having guard rings and all of these
Yeah.
things. So, and most of them they are blood sacrifice. You know,
Yes.
you see especially a lot of entertainers that is wearing
Yes.
these things called the guard rings.
You'll
And
be surprised.
they're flamboyant about it. It's not like it's something that they hold down, you know, when they're talking about their rings and them obia man and them obia this and all of that. So it's
Okay,
a
so do the
there's
Obeah men count in the same fraternity as the ones who have the ministries?
They all the same. It's same works. It's
that's
the
what
same
I was
works.
gonna say, because don't they do the same thing? Is blood
Are the
They
same
make
sacrifice?
them
works.
drink out of the goat head instead of drinking it out of the golden chalice.
Whatever. I mean, it's the
Oh,
same works. However you facade it, are the
Blood of my
same
blood, flesh
works.
of my flesh.
Are the
the
same works. You see me? I'm not into no blood sacrifice. Me not look nobody power and money. Any power me have it alone. Any money me make it. Me not take nothing from nobody. So these
no.
people now is so yearn for power. Why
Mhm.
you think them killing? You see
Is
all
that
heap of
is
them in a Jamaica in a power and have
Secret.
money.
should we
Trust
group
me.
it? Should we group it in the same as Illuminati?
Isn't that
No.
some
Gotta
sort
be
of
because
a
yes, they are all
I wouldn't say
Illuminati? Isn't that a
Illuminati.
myth?
huh?
I don't think
What do
Illuminati is a myth. I think
You
Illuminati
talking
is a
about the Club
sect
of
of.
Rome? Oh my goodness,
I,
she is not talking
I
about the
think they are a sect of
Trilateral
people.
Commission. Woo!
But hold on,
Watch
let's go
her
back to
now,
the word.
y'all.
Let's go back to the word illuminate. You see, Illuminati, illuminate. You have to remember, don't make them fool you. Illuminate means to set out, bring forth, brighten, lighten, illuminate.
Jesus
Oh,
is
you're illuminating,
the light of the
right? So guess
world.
what? If they say they are
He's
Illuminati, it means them
ever
illuminate some things.
shining
Remember what we
in my
said last time with the
soul.
Kabbalah? Them don't go thief up whole heap of transcripts of secret sciences and then perfect it and then kill the guards who the priest, the high priest, them who guard them transcripts there. Them kill them off. They learn the secrets and them I do all of the you see, you can have something. You take it, you can have a good heart and do something with it, or you can have that negativity and do something with it. But it will be different because our agenda is different. Our
Mhm.
our our heart is different. The things we would do, I would do things more righteous for help somebody, where somebody would do it where they can take somebody down. So
Bam.
Illuminati, people can give names all day long,
Mhm.
but to illuminate is to shine, illuminate, bright. Okay, so that is what it is. We all can say we may illuminate our light. So
Mhm.
Illuminati, with the reason they use these different words and stuff is because they are stolen documents, stolen teachers, stolen teachings that was taken and put forth in different ways. You see, them
Okay.
7 or 8 families where run the dollar, the US dollar, and the whole federal money system.
Mhm.
Okay, they're doing
Hold,
a whole lot of freaking cult rituals. Don't think so them a
hold that,
sit down
hold that
and
thought,
just a make money. They're
hold that
worse
thought.
than Kevin Smith were dead there.
Hold on.
They're worse than
Miriam
him.
says, Mama Acid, you're in classed as academia. In some of the churches, black, it's more of a spiritual following, learning and dedication. They are watched and observed as well as studying the Bible in their way. Note, I say, in some churches, when they are satisfied, they can be ordained, and for some, it's a few years in the making. If it's months, there are issues as that's fast tracking and something IMO is wrong.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It wasn't because I really wanted to do it for the sake of the spiritual connection. I wanted to do it for the educational connection to the history and the truth because I needed to understand why they shot the noses off the Sphinx,
Thank you.
why they dissolved the Dead Sea Scrolls and brought back all these fakes, and why they trying to pretend like the black woman is not the creator.
God, goddess, yeah, because she's the only one with the Eve gene, and we ain't gonna
Look,
break
I
that
know
down
who I
today.
am. Just
But check
call me
me another day,
Lucy.
me break it down for you.
I done pushed the baby out. I know how it works.
Yeah,
Well,
make
They
them know.
want you to forget
that
that
has always
you
been a big
right.
question as to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
We don't we
Are
don't we
they
don't have
God
to
in the Holy?
question that.
Is it really that the Holy Spirit is just basically the female, and they don't want to give the woman
They don't want to give her no props,
empowerment,
no
that
respect,
power? So
no
instead of
power.
saying the Father, Son, and the Mother, then they say the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Let me ask you a question. This is going to be real easy. Have you ever been in a church and not seen a picture of the divine mother and the divine infant?
If you ever been in a church, yes, you see that. I mean,
and
stop goddess. So
and if you see that, then you may see a bigger picture of the divine infant as an adult, which is who they are following, but they are following him because he came from her, so she is the origin of all of that.
Miriam
well,
says,
I don't
"Thank
know
you,
how she is
ladies."
the origin because
Well,
only
she
the black
gave birth
woman
to
have
the
the
One
Eve
moment.
baby.
gene.
One moment.
Caucasian woman
Miriam
have no
says,
Eve gene, so she can't have
Miriam
no
says,
immaculate conception.
thank you, ladies. But without the sperm, ain't no baby being born. That's exactly.
Which is
So
all
you know
fine
what?
and daddy. That
Both
I
without the
concepts.
I want to
sperm.
I want to throw this right back at y'all because I like that.
Hold on, Mama
Both,
Acid.
both
Let me take a quick swipe
men.
at this one. Yeah, yeah. Ain't no babies being born without a sperm. After, after after the stage is set, there had to be an immaculate conception, so
First,
life can be. It had to be first. You ever hear that joke when they say which
the
came
Big
first, the chicken
Bang.
or the egg? Where you think them ask you that for? Because only the woman with the Eve gene can have an immaculate conception.
I said, listen,
Facts.
listen. For the last 10 years, Mama Acid has given me 15 years, I think. No, we started talking about it maybe 10, 13 years. Mama Acid have given me her idea of how the earth, how life came on the earth. So for who has been vibesing with us for the last 13 years, then you have already heard Mama Acid perception as to life on the earth. Mama Acid, just real quick, tell the listeners what you and Zephyr, because I don't know if Zephyr ever heard it, but
Zephyr heard it. Zephyr know what
real
I'm
quick.
talking about. In
Not
EFI, we
Exactly.
believe that a giant
listen.
One true
chicken
Mama Acid.
scratched at the darkness, and suddenly there
Started
was
from the
a
beginning.
planet.
Started from the beginning. Go ahead again. What you say?
In the beginning, there was the Big Bang. Bam. The Big Bang was the creation of all energy being released within the universe because the Creator had a good day. On that day, the giant chicken was released and ran out into the darkness and started scratching and scratching and scratching. And it made a ball and they called it Earth. Okay. Then the big chicken got dropped down on the earth and started scratching again and scratching out the different continents. And the big chicken scratched up some dirt and was like, we should leave something down here because we can't just leave this ball down here like this. Is kind of nice, but no. So they made the two little mounds, and then they dropped one drop of water, and man and the planet came to life. A chicken. And there's no egg involved, just a chicken, a hen, no rooster.
No rooster.
But
Woman.
the thing that I really like about how Zephyr broke it down is that we too often want to take away the power of creation from the creator, and we need to recognize that Black women are creators, because men can't give birth, men can't make a baby. But in terms of a woman making a baby, yes, there are women who have impregnated themselves. I did the research because we had started talking about this a couple years ago. We've been talking about the hermaphrodism and homosexuality and deviant sexuality because we've been trying to understand these things for a long time. This is not something new to us. We've been dealing with this pedagogy, as they call it, for years. And this in itself tells us that we have not come upon something new, but a bigger understanding of what already existed, that maybe we had just looked at the edges of it and now we can see a little bit closer to the middle. And the deal is this: when a woman impregnates herself, she is a divine being. And believe it or not, there are some divine beings on this planet who are born intersex. They have both sexes in their body. And if they're not interfered with by society and doctors, they can reproduce. They can get themselves pregnant. All I can say is that sounds like a whole lot of work. I'd rather somebody else help me.
I don't. I'm not getting over it. I was waiting to see if anyone was going to comment.
Go
You know
on
we
through
believe
Mama
in
Acid.
science.
Ah, no, no comments. Okay, Miriam says.
We believe
Miriam.
in
Yes,
science.
Miriam.
Says
It's
with what?
science, dear.
So they're
It's
asexual.
science.
The
Yeah,
question
It's
asexuality
science.
exists.
sexual.
Yes, it
Only the Eve
exists.
gene, only a woman with the Eve gene can have such
Donna
uh
Donna Moody says
an
sexual.
experience, and that was since the origin of time. And of
Okay.
course, things are evolved from there. But
Shame.
I'm saying that
You
it
know
does
about,
exist.
can
It's
we
not a
throw in
myth, it's not
shame?
So
superstition.
it's only a that oh my god.
Can we throw in shame?
What shame?
Shame was where man and women discovered they were different, and that woman was made to feel less than man because she was told that she came from man's rib, yet man could not reproduce her nor himself. And she
Okay.
was belittled because she could. Shame was delivered by man, and that's why he was removed from the Garden of Eden, because he
Shame.
came for God. Imagine if they had continued to drink at the altar of reality instead of trying to destroy it. That's what they always
Yeah.
do.
So what made
Their
you come
mind
to
would have been open since then.
what made you come to a lot of these conclusions that you come to, Acid?
A lot of them are because of research and because I've talked to a lot of different people, and I've read and been interested in a lot of things, and I've had a lot of travels and a lot of strange experiences. And when you meet some people, if you tell them about things you're interested in, they might introduce you to somebody else. I met a woman who was intersex. She had both a little penis, and she had a vagina, and she had a menstrual period, and they all worked. It was a little
Castle
penis, but it was a
Semenya, South
penis.
So
Africa.
but as
No,
Miriam
in America. She lived in Florida.
but as
No, I'm
Miriam
saying
said,
Castle
it said
Semenya of
but as
Oh
South
yeah,
Africa,
yeah.
the
She got it
athletes.
too
wait a minute, but as something that
They
Miriam
banned
said,
her from athletics because she has
because she
high
got too high
testosterone, because
testosterone.
she has that.
yeah. But what I'm saying is like Miriam says, and it comes back to um you still need a sperm because
Here's the
it
deal.
took a
You
penis
you
and
produce sperm. When you produce testosterone, you produce sperm. If you
And
have the
woman produce
system to
testosterone
do it,
a
the
small amount in our
system,
body. Thank
was
you.
breaking
exactly. Every woman has to have testosterone because
Thank
only
you.
estrogen will give you instant breast cancer. Well, a lot of other cancers
Thank
too.
you.
But
We have to
that's
have a
also one of
balance.
the reasons why we find that a lot of men switch sexuality is because they get a hyper estrogenation.
Estrogen
That's what it's
flow.
called.
That's
Now,
right.
but back to this egg thing because I like this discussion. We
Germ
have to
cell. Let's call
understand
it what
that
it is. It's a germ cell.
science,
That's where life begins in the ovary.
exactly,
Go ahead.
science has taught us that things are abnormal even though they exist. How can it be abnormal if it exists? It's different because it is more special. This woman shared this with me because I was talking to someone else that I knew, and I told them, I said, in my life, I ain't never heard of that. And they said, well, maybe you just haven't heard of it because maybe you just haven't seen it. And I said, I don't think it exists. And the person said to me, maybe it does. And then a few weeks later, we went to somebody's house to go pick something up. And they said, this person I want to introduce you to is now who you are going to think they are. And I was really confused then. I was anyway. So the person told me, and she said, well, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to let you see. Now, this is what really upset me. They couldn't remove the penis because that is actually where the urethra was connected. And it wasn't a clitoris, it was a penis. So your clitoris is a penis. And if it gets bigger, it will grow around the mediastatin, which is where your urethra exits your body, and it will start to and yeah, there are two tubes in there, epididymis anyway. I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
gonna
you know,
sit here
I
and discuss
definitely
all the
know some
men's
that.
plummets.
I've had the pleasure. I've had the experience of getting to know several hyper that.
They're very, very interesting
With my line of in
work.
the medical field,
Hmm.
I've dealt with several, and one that we gosh, she could speak, talk to me. So she expressed a lot, and for her, it was she was born both, but her mom made the decision that they wanted her to be a her. But she's growing up and she feels like a he. And everything was removed. Things were just totally upside down.
Messed up.
Yeah, so I totally understand as far as the two um organs being there or instruments
This lady
of love.
was somebody, I believe she is a god being because she does have the ability to reproduce from herself. That in itself is a holy being. That is immaculate conception. And many people on this planet don't want to accept that it exists,
Yeah.
but it
But
does. And there
but
are
it's
documented cases of these women getting pregnant from their own sperm.
Yeah.
but is it women? If
It's
they're
a woman getting her.
academic,
A
X
man and a
chromosome.
woman.
is it, because that's what I was gonna say. Does it has to, if you are having both sex, then you shouldn't be identified as a man or a
Should
woman,
we call them they?
because you know what I'm saying, because now you're using saying that because it's a woman, they're able to
To give birth.
impregnate themselves. But is it just a woman? It's a man and a
In
woman.
nature, seahorses can do it too. They're the
They're
only
both.
known mammals. I mean, not mammals. Yeah, mammals that can do it because seahorses give live birth. They're the only ones known that can
Yep.
reproduce themselves.
Isn't that
They
something?
could be male or female, and they could switch. That's what blew my mind was that they could switch.
So that's a theory, huh? Being
Well,
It's
it's actually
called
scientific.
ambiguous genitalia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what it's
That's
called.
when you're born, we are birthed with both.
both.
Hmm.
And it shouldn't
Yeah.
be looked at as some kind of weirdness.
So
Mm-mm.
we
That
use the
person probably
there are
had that,
many
they have a whole lot of
different
power
names.
having both
We use
in one.
well for a person such as we need to use the name and not make it a male nor a female
Well,
because
this was
now
a lady. She
but
she
that
went as a lady,
now
but she had all the
Her
parts.
they call it hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite is what
hermaphrodite.
they
She
Just
is.
call
like
it.
She's a
Donna
hermaphrodite.
Marie says, there are
Yeah.
many different human species amongst us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
They do
definitely.
have quite a few. I would say though, the percentage of that compared to the 100% is very small. You don't have a whole lot. You don't even have
What is
5%
the
or 16
hermaphrodite?
or
I'm
whatever.
looking at. Oh, it's
A hermaphrodite is
this
it's in
one.
a lesser percentage.
Okay, so do you think men are more jealous of them than they are of regular women? Because we already know men are jealous of regular women. I mean, I'm gonna say it. Y'all ain't gotta say it. I'll say it. I'll take the weight. That's why
What
they
you
always trying to
mean
run
men
and see what
are
we got
more
in our
jealous?
purses.
What you mean men are more jealous of
What are they looking
hermaphrodites?
for? One of them.
You want to wipe? You need a
Yeah,
napkin?
right.
Look. Let me dig down here and get you one of them butterscotches.
You know, I would
Why you
like to
feel
ask
that
about something
men will
before we
be
get off the
more
radio.
a man will be more jealous? I mean, where did jealous come in?
Because they don't ever stop hating the fact that they can't get over us.
Miriam said there is actually a small village of them in India.
Yes, yes,
Interesting.
Miriam. Not
Oh,
just India.
that's
Not just India.
wonderful.
Not just India. They're all over the world, but they are very secluded, just like albino villages.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They
there's
would have to
Because
be very
people,
careful.
because people thinking in the third dimensional mindset are judging them to say, oh, they're this and they're that. We have to, rid them and all this stuff. So they are,
so
yeah, they
I'm
are
gonna go
very, to me, they are very
somewhere.
secluded within their own spaces.
I'm gonna go somewhere. You pull me back, reel me back if necessary. Since we're on all of these since we're on this type of topic and hermaphrodites,
Hermaphrodite.
me being in the field, I still can't say it properly, but trust me, hermaphrodites. What about, can people really be born homosexual?
We asked that question before. I thought we answered it and that we
Oh, my mic on.
decided
Oh
that people
yeah,
make
yeah.
choices.
Yeah, I don't think people are birth homosexual. I think you
I
make
don't think they have
choices. Now,
no real sexual designation before they
nation,
get
right. I don't
exposed to
think children are even
society.
thinking about that.
Or do you think it's a choice?
I think society makes that choice for you.
Because as you grow, I think you have
Did
influences.
elaborate a little bit more on that answer.
I think that what happens is if you become too open and don't make a designation and you want to do everything, society is not going to like it. They're going to be like, look, we have two boxes. You want to invent a third box, and we done told you this third box ain't going to work because we can't put everybody in it. So you want to make a special box, okay? So if you make a special box, you get in the box, and we're not going to tell you what's going to happen, but you just get in the box and take your chances. People in the box got tired of taking their chances and said, if it's rules for these other ones, we need to have some rules. So they set up dividers in the box. LGBTQ and plus. I don't know what plus is, but I'm including it because I was told to include it. I was told that it is transphobic if I don't include it. Now, I was also told that you should respect people's pronouns, even if you don't know them. That's the
Mary
third.
said
That's what
she
she's talking
better
about.
have
So
invented that
we
third
Yep.
box.
know now. Okay, my head is hurting because I'm about to say something that's like probably very bad, but I'm gonna just say it anyway because I don't have much discretion. Y'all already know that. At one point, only women would suffer the pain of wearing stiletto shoes in order to make men physically enjoy watching them walk by. At one point, only women would go through all the trouble of waxing their face and putting on lipstick and getting their hair done a certain way and paying extra money to get somebody else's hair put in their head and doing things to make themselves more acceptable to men who they later find out envy and hate them because they are able to achieve these things. And this is a conversation that a man who is a beauty culturist, he's not a beautician, he's a beauty culturist. And a beauty culturist is someone who understands both sides. They do women and they do men, and they mean that. So they said to me, if one day you wake up and you decide you want to wear straight lumberjack for the full day, does that mean you also can't walk up in your closet and get out a peg and put it on to make yourself feel more masculine in the world? And if you like it, who says you can't adopt that as a persona instead of being called uh, Francis? You just want to be called Frank. Almost passed out. I'm sorry, it was way too far for me. It was a bridge that I'll never get to. I don't care what kind of bus, car, or airplane you put me on, I ain't going there. But I was very intrigued by the idea that women can change their sexuality and adopt these other male characteristics and achieve male respect simply by changing their appearance. And I'm starting to wonder if that is why some of these um people who are doing this, these trans people, if this could be their reason for doing it, because they could feel that they are being more socially acceptable by being true to themselves in that moment, rather than realizing that later they may need to have a different moment. I know there was a lot.
Mama Acid, I'm like this. We're birthed XX chromosome, female, or XY chromosome, male, or if it's both, hermaphrodite. And that is a rare exception. You don't have no whole heap of people birth like that on the average. So I am XX chromosome, woman, divine feminine, all the way, no chaser,
Wait a minute.
right?
XXX.
Now, as girly as I may be and very divine feminine, we all still have a masculine energy. My masculine energy don't dominate because I'm female. That is what is illuminated from me. More of my woman qualities and things like that. Now, if in my head with all this woman quality and all this sexiness and stuff, and that I want to be acting like a XY chromosome, then it's my choice at that point to say, you know what? I'm going to create this facade to appear to be such and such and such. Because if you're not born so and you pretend to be so, it's a pretense, it's a facade.
But for some
It's
people, it's
something
not.
you
Some
made up
people,
in
they
the
want to
mind.
live that life. That's what that preacher
They
was
can live
doing.
it.
If
They can
there
live it,
are,
but it's
listen,
still
let me
in
let
their
me let me
mind. It's an illusion
pivot.
that
If there
they're living
are
it out.
if
They're playing it
there
out.
if there are genetic deformities that happens to people, have you ever looked at some children when they were children and you look at how they act, how they what they do, the whole nine, you be giggling to yourself and you be like, that picture they look like if they could touch it up. And you make these jokes as adults. You make these jokes and you
Energetic
say, boy, that boy
signatures.
they look like in well gear. And then when they really grow
Energetic
up,
signatures.
they grow up
Yep.
and they are gay. So
Energetic
some of
signatures.
them you see from you will look at them from their little and be like, can a person really be born that way? Sybil Hinkson says yes. And also there was comment from Sybil Hinkson said, did you hear that all the stuff that he had in the church, it was stolen? Okay, that's what the pastor in Jamaica. But yes, can they really be born with this deformity?
Confusion,
Can it be
yes.
a deformity? Because you have
Yes.
people with cerebral palsy, you have people that's born with encephalitis, you have people that is born with all type of different
They can be
um,
birthed with that energetic
genetic
signature. It's transcended.
deformities that pass
Yeah.
down from generations that and it comes up over time. Can it be that some of them, you have some that has that, I mean, you things that makes you go but can it really be something like that? Acid?
I think
Go ahead,
energetic
Zach.
signatures do play a major part in all of our lives, whether it's for us to engage with same sex or opposite sex. When it comes to those things, I do think energetic signatures have a lot to do with a lot of these things, especially boys that have been, let's say, molested from man and preacher and priest and all, like how the Kevin Smith thing are going. And those are the boys now are going to grow up thinking it's okay to love this same sex because that's all they know. They've been groomed to it. But besides that, if they never had that weakness for it, then let's say they probably would have been XY chromosome male seeking a female. But because of the influence and the things that they had been subjected to at young ages, they grew thinking that this is okay. But let's not talk about the ones who have been groomed. Let's talk about the ones who everybody grow up, everybody, grow, next thing you know, at a certain age, you realize that your son or daughter does not really fit into their X or XY status, like they acted like the opposite. You will know because at that point, whether they are at whatever age, they've decided to be true to themselves and act the way they want to act, regardless. If
This
you're a
one, this
female,
one, this one touch. We got a caller that's called in, and we also have Brianna Graham says being trans isn't
Hey, Bree.
hold the line. Being trans isn't a new thing. Trans people aren't deformed. Social, they have been told they couldn't live how they feel. Just because you're born with W.E chromosomes doesn't mean you're just that. That's what Brianna
you
Graham.
know what? We're okay. When we're speaking chromosomes, we're speaking about earth and we're speaking about science. We're speaking about matter. We're not speaking spiritual. We're not speaking about who your spirit is and just end up in that body that you probably didn't want to go into because you were gravitating towards female and then you end up in a male or whatever XX da, da, da. We're not speaking about that.
Okay,
We're
call.
speaking
Wait,
scientifically,
wait,
not to say who choose and don't
wait a minute,
choose,
caller.
but you do have a choice.
Wait a minute,
You do
caller.
have a choice to make, regardless of how it may seem, regardless of how people may judge it. It still is a decision to be made. There are women and men, female and male, who at some point in their life sometimes will say to themselves, do I like this or do I like that? And they would ask themselves, I think everybody have done that,
Well,
and I know
we
personally,
we
I
just
would
go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Finish
know
your thought.
personally as an XX chromosome, I choose XY chromosome. That is just good for me. It resonates with me. If it does not resonate with somebody else, that's fine. But it's couple different type of things we have to look at here. Because when you're looking for trying to connect with someone, you're looking for what resonates. And some people just goes off of that energy, the resonation, who they resonate with, regardless of who sits behind that seat,
So how
right?
about the ones
So
who have not been, who and we're gonna go to caller. I'm a read Brianna Graham's statement, and then we're gonna go to caller, and then I'll make my statement, and then we come back to you, Zephyr, and then Mama Acid. Okay, Brianna says, what about intersex people? They were forced to live as female or male, but they were born with both. Yes, we were speaking about
Hermaphrodite. Yeah, we were speaking about that.
doctors operated on babies born with both genitals. As yes, Brianna, as I stated, me being in the medical field and me caring for persons, I've had several that have lived with me that we've had to care for. And also, Brianna says gender and sexuality are two different things as well. And
Absolutely.
she's laughing her butt off. So,
Absolutely.
um, but then it comes with being a choice of what sexuality you want to be, since we're not talking gender and we're talking sexuality. And then there becomes an issue because you're using the sexuality to make it into a gender. Because if you expect me to know that you are a male and want me to look at you as a female, you're asking me to join this, to come on this cuckoo bandwagon that I'm not
Yeah.
willing to join. Now, if you have a gender issue where you feel like you are a woman, and it's not just based off of me wanting to have sex with a with a male because I just want to have sex. But if it's really a gender issue of you feeling like a man in a woman's body, or you feeling like a woman in a man's body, then that's gender. But when you're basing it off of sexuality and making sexuality into a gender, then there's an issue with that, because then you're asking, regardless of which way you look at it, you're asking me to see the unseeable. Because to me, it's like you want me to be crazy because you want me to go along with this idea that I'm looking at a woman when I know it's a man. But yeah, you as a woman, it's just not logical for me. Let's get to the call and then we go on. Go ahead, caller.
Uh, yeah, I just wanted to interject where I I've been teaching for a couple of years, well, and in around 90 in the 90s, I had a child in one of the classroom, not my particular classroom, but one of the pre-K classroom, and this is pre-K, pre-kindergartners, and the child would exhibit traits of femininity. You know, he would play with um, object that you would ordinarily think a girl would play with. Those are the things that he was drawn to. And the teachers used to say, "Ooh, he's touched, he's gay." And I would take up for him and say, "No, he's not. He's just, he just like to play with that stuff." And this went on the whole semester, the whole term of school. He did that, and a couple of years back, someone told me that they saw him and he is fully blown gay. So he was showing signs from 5 years old. So I do believe that children can be born with gender, issues, and some of them, because years ago, you had to keep that hush hush, it was something that was um, everybody talked about. But these children, they start out early and they don't know what's going on. They're just acting out how they feel,
That's
But like
gender
I said,
dysphoria.
he would put on the wigs in the play area, the housekeeping area. He would put on the wigs. He would put on the girls' clothing. He would play with the doll babies, while the other boys would
That's
play
why.
with the trucks and the cars and things of that nature. And like I said, that child is now in his 20s, late 20s,
But
and
that's
I
like
heard
what
that
I was
he is
saying, caller.
fully,
That's what I was saying, caller, is when you see
yeah,
children when they are younger and you
yeah,
even look at them and you say, boy, I would love to see what this would turn out to be when they become an adult. And they
hmm
actually turn out to be what you saw. So
what
is
you
it
saw, yes,
so it may be a possibility that some as Brianna was stating, you have gender and you have sexuality, then that is
Mm-hmm.
where the discussion needs to be made. Is this the persons whom are taking it under sexuality turn trying to make it into a gender issue? We need
Mm-hmm.
to a discussion needs to be had on that, because some persons may actually be born that way, and you
Be
have
born that way,
others
yes.
who is just using it as an opportunity to be able to sleep with other sexes, and they should call it what it is. I choose to have sex, to have a sexual relationship with another woman, and don't say that I'm a woman. You know, I don't know if I'm even saying it right. Go ahead, Acid.
I was going to say gender dysphoria is one of these things that it seems to pop up every few years in order to refuel the discussion on sexuality. But instead of sexuality and dealing with gender roles, what I wish people would deal with is equality. It shouldn't matter if you're male or female. You should get treated the same either way. You should get paid the same either way. You should have the same type of expectations. You shouldn't be allowed to do things differently
But
because you're in
some
one gender
cultures
or
does
another
not
gender
permit
role.
that. You see, um, I know the Caribbean culture. They really object against that, and also not just the Caribbean culture, but also Christianity. You know, Christianity feels that that's a taboo, that it is not right. You know, it is not. I mean, I'm trying to find the right truth.
But here, caller, we
Word.
had this whole guy with this church that was kind of based on the fact that he was exhibiting this sexual dysphoria and people were supporting it, pretending like he wasn't. And, to me, it makes me wonder back to the first question that I came in on. Is it the people? Is it about their perception and how they want to treat someone? Because just like she says, what about transhumans? Transhumanism is a brand new phenomenon. He was not transhuman. He hated
Donna
women. He
Marie said, "What about
demonstrated that he hated women.
transhuman?" And Sybil Hinkson says, "Them Christianity is the main ones."
Yeah, because Christians got a lot of their principles from the King James Bible, and King James, I'm going to say it, hated himself and hated women. So he designed the Bible to
Yeah, he
support
hated women. He loved little
slavery
I'm
and
boys.
to
sorry. Wait a minute.
denigrate
Somebody
women.
turned on something. I think caller, you need to turn down your caller. Caller,
Yes,
you need to you could you please turn down whatever's in your background there,
yes,
please.
I do.
All
I'm
right, thank
sorry,
you.
I
That's
do.
okay. That's okay. Go ahead. Acid, you were
I
completing.
think that under these circumstances where we're talking about this particular cultist, we need to consider the fact that those people who were sitting there in front of him decided they wanted to be a part of this, because if they didn't, they would have walked away like many others did. There were a lot of people who met him and found out how he was, and they walked away because they didn't want to be associated. But those who decided to continue to play to his excellency game, they were the ones who were fueling this nonsense. And
Miriam
that is the
says,
problem.
"Oh heck, Donna, that's a whole new level." And Donna
Right,
responds,
because
"Some humans
because
are
Donna mentioned
indeed
what
They
about
are.
transhuman?
What,
Transhuman, we talk.
but you
You
heard
don't
that
mix up
I said,
transhuman with transgender. We're talking two
it's a
different things.
confirm that
Okay, transhuman is
that's
when
what
they
he was
say it's
doing
like
with
one
a
moment,
human, but
caller.
you have your powers
he
are
said,
enhanced, your
uh,
strength
One
are
moment,
enhanced
caller.
beyond the average person that do. That's what they call transhuman.
That's
When
a
you have
reptile and a
your
human mix,
abilities,
a hybrid.
yeah, your abilities, your intelligence, awareness, strength, and all that is highly more on a higher percentage than that what you call average. And I really don't even like to use that word because I don't want to define what's average. What
Right.
do you call
There's no
average?
there's no average. There's no
Right.
average.
But society does. They look at, well, this is normal and this is not normal. That's that third dimensional mindset. You're thinking with two sides of your brain, it's this or it's that. Okay,
Donna
it's
says, okay.
oppositional, and there will always be a battle in your
Hey,
mind
we
trying
got
to figure out, is
three
this right or is this
minutes.
wrong?
3 minutes.
We
Let me
have
say
3 minutes to
we got
go.
3 minutes, and I gotta say this.
And before you say that okay, go ahead and say it, and then I'll just give
This
out.
is very important. Okay. Everybody better vote like your life depends on it. Because for as long as we are supporting this type of nonsense, we are not supporting our own lives. We need to stop electing people who support this type of a subhuman evolution because this is
Yes,
backing
subhuman, not
us away
transhuman.
from ascending our humanity. These people are dropping our humanity, and it's
Yep.
up to us to change this. So until we start electing those who will represent us, we're going to continue to have them. And I'm sorry I had to cut you off to say that, but I want
Donna says
everybody to vote.
it's
We need you
natural
to vote.
human
We
evolution.
need you to vote.
Says hybrid hominians.
Yeah, hybrid homonyms. She's
Okay.
exactly right because that's what they are. They breeding with animals. We don't know what all they breeding with, but if they can take ivermectin, if they can take horse medicine,
Donna
And it's
also
been going on
says,
for a very long time. This is not something that started today. This practice is
right.
centuries old.
Mhm.
They've been
Okay.
doing this for
Yeah.
so long. Their babies being birthed with fully hair, full mouth of teeth, and a tail. What y'all tell me, say?
Mhm.
the tail.
Paula,
It's
we'll let
telling
you go
you
ahead and say something, and then we're gonna get ready to close on out. We have 2 minutes to
2 minutes.
go.
Well, you know what? Big up
Uh,
yourself. Powerhouse Radio, Lady D, Mama Acid, Reasoning Thursday. All right. And we'll see you here next Thursday again. That's what me have to say. 'Cause me have only per se, so me there.
Caller,
Yes. I think this issue brought up a lot of different areas that needs to be discussed, and it is not about the church or what is going on in the church because it is not just the church, but these things are going on all over the
All
world,
over.
and these things need to be addressed because people don't really know what is going on out there. They take everything for face value, and I think that your media is teaching folks about what is out there, and these things need to be discussed. We can't just push it under the rug because for centuries it's been pushed under the rug. For years it's been pushed under the rug, and
We
these
built
things need to
buildings on
be in
top
the
of it.
forefront so folks know what they're dealing with and what they're facing in this
Yep.
world.
yeah, well, we definitely thank you for that. Donna Moody says in virtual impregnation, and she
Yo.
says,
Thank you,
and
Donna. Thank you, Miriam.
Miriam
Thank you,
says,
Queen.
we have learned that
Big
it's
up
3
yourself.
a.m. in the UK. Well, thank you, our
Thank
UKers,
you.
for hanging in there, and
North
keeping you
Carolina,
company.
Brianna.
North Carolina, want to say big
Thank you,
ups to
Brianna.
each and everyone that listens to us. Our Canadian crew, want to say big ups to
Hey,
you.
don't forget Don Minot in Connecticut.
Listen,
Don, big up
Be safe up
yourself.
here with that bomb cyclone
each
going
and
on,
every
Don.
Thursdays, each and every Thursdays, we are here from 8 p.m. It's supposed to be till 9, but
Big
we
up
moved it
yourself,
up to
Sybil
10.
Linkson.
So from 8 to 10 p.m., we are here each and every Thursday. So, and it's called
Hey,
Reason
and the kids show before us. Don't forget them
where
too.
it's called
And big
Reasoning
up
Thursdays,
Carlene Smith
which
Francis.
it's called Reasoning Thursdays, which we reason about every topic and we agree to disagree. All righty. And we agree to agree. So we thank each and every one for joining us. We also want to invite you all to join all the fantabulous programmings that are on the Powerhouse Radio. You have Let's Gripe on a Wednesday evenings with Tonia McKenna and Marcus.
Marcus.
So check them out. Let's Gripe on Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. And then you have Thursdays with Kids Way. Let me tell you about these 11 and 12-year-old kids. You have to check them out on a Thursday evening, 6 to 7
It's
p.m.,
real
right
issues.
before Reasoning Thursdays. And they are also live on YouTube and Facebook. So check them out on a Thursday. And then us, Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Right here with yours truly, Lady D and Mama Acid. And Medicure Daughter chimes in with us now and then. And be sure to check us out on Saturdays at the Bishop Blair Gospel Explosion. That's at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with Bishop Blair. And this weekend, we want to say happy birthday to Bishop Blair. He's going to be having his 65th concert celebration taking place this Saturday at Hope Redemption Worship Center.
Is Joan Myers going to be singing?
And Joan Myers going to be singing, and he has
I
a
need
whole
to. We need
host
to have that
of
on the air.
wonderful
It needs to be
gospel artists,
live.
and it's going to be live. I'm gonna bring it live as well, right here on the Powerhouse Radio during my show, the Lady D Show, because it starts at 2. It starts at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you check them out and all the fantabulous artists that's going to be on the lineup. It's going to be a great um birthday celebration. So I want to big him up once again. So it's going to be at Flat Shows. 2553 Flat Shows Parkway and Flat Shows Road in Conyers. And it is a $25 donation and it is an outdoor event. So if you can make it, go on. That's my brother from another mother. And go and celebrate his 65th. It's a great milestone.
Bring your
Yeah,
chair.
bring your
Hmm.
chair and just,
Hmm.
it is, I guess, a semi formal or something like that attire. But I know you can come as you are and have a good time. Also, the Lady D show each and every Saturdays from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Be sure to join me. And we have your Caribbean, your headliners. We have your joke of the day. We have your entertainment news. We have interviews with some of the best artists. So be sure to join us and vibes with me. And that's me, Lady D, each and every Saturdays, 12 to 4 p.m. The best in music. And
Yes,
I'm an
for
old
real.
school girl, so it's a lot of old school thing going and going on right here. And Sundays, be sure to check out the Gospel Vibes right here from kicking it off at 9 a.m. up until 1 p.m. Get your God, get your praise on right here with the Powerhouse family. And from Sundays at 6 p.m. You have I Am Meta with Queen Zephyr, the Medicure daughter. And that's all your spiritual and your herbal needs and information with the Medicure daughter. That's Sundays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then let me tell you, you get your groove on, your love on. If you have a
Yeah.
lover out there, you want to send a tribute to someone, you want to send a message to a secret admirer. It's all about love, nothing but love. Sunday evenings with the Lady D Blossom and Cool G right here. You don't want to miss that. You got to
Nope.
have your wine, and I mean,
Light your
yeah, it's
candle.
all like that. It could be all about you. It could be all about you and someone else. Each and every Sunday, 7 p.m. up until the 9 o'clock hour, right here on the Powerhouse Radio. So spread the word, tell a friend and a family member. So we'll check you all on again next week, Thursday, same time, same place. And Donna says she will be here. And Donna also says, Miriam, make sure you come back Thursday. And Brianna says, all love. And Donna says, love you all topic. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your input and all. And KR Johnson says, good show, like always. And Donna once again says, big up yourselves. Big ups to you as well. Mama Acid, before we go,
I just want to say, everybody, if you have to be around people, please wear your mask, please socially distance, wash your hands, and stay safe. And don't forget to vote.
don't forget to vote next week. It's the most importantest time for you all to vote. Don't worry, don't wait till it's time to elect a president. Don't wait till all of those. These are the most important time to vote.
Local.
These are the people that are going to represent us. Okay. You
Your
know, someone
sheriff,
said to
your
me,
district
Lady D, I didn't
attorney.
know that Stone Mountain had a different mayor than Atlanta. Yes. So you need to, if you're living in Stone Mountain or you living in Lithonia or you living in Jonesboro, wherever you're living here in Georgia,
Or
find out
wherever
who
you
your
are.
mayor is. Yeah, Atlanta is Atlanta. But
There's a
these little
city of
counties,
Atlanta.
these little
Yeah,
states
Hmm.
the city of Atlanta have a mayor.
as a mayor. So
Yeah,
Keisha Lance Bottoms, that's not who you're voting for if you're not living in Atlanta. So
right.
know whom you're voting for in your areas. It is very important, not just here in Georgia, but all over the United States of America. We love you all and we thank you all for being there. Just stay loving, stay kind, be yourself, and take it one day at a time. Miriam said, if I can stay awake. Big up yourself, Miriam, as we leave out with. Ooh,
Big up Tifa Reed. Big up Loretta
you
Rankin.
want to
Big
leave,
up.
leave out with some Don today? Acid.
I think so.
We love
Always.
Big up Kashaka. Sybil.
mine. It's singing. Cry blood. How about that one? Big things. The big man himself, Mr. Don Minus. We love you all. Next week, same place, same time, same station.
Trickle down economics. Working class people in a state of panic, panic, panic. The kid disappeared. So what happened to the sufferer share? For the crumbs they must fight. While the privileged few still holding tight, tight, tight. Cry blood. Cry blood. Cry blood. Cry blood. Religion on the rise. False prophets, the people's demise. Some still waiting for their pipe from the sky, sky, sky. While the finer things and
Hey,
earth are simply
Olivia.
passing them
Hey,
by.
Olivia.
Cry blood.
Wagwan, cause you can still look at it. It's on video.
Cry blood.
Cry blood.
The poor man's closest friend. In a
Big
wilderness
up.
of fear, hoping that their redemption is near. While retreating down the dark streets of poverty, drifting on their oceans of insanity, as the system destroys their very being.
Please go to our YouTube
Cry
channel.
blood.
Like, share, share.
Subscribe.
Now our numbers up.
Cry blood.
Tell a friend and a friend.
Black souls rise, crying out for mercy.
They need to come and join us over here.
Black souls rise, crying out for justice, justice, justice.
Justice.
Black
Go on,
souls
Dad.
rise, seeking equality. Black souls rise, yearning for peace, peace, peace. Cry blood, cry blood, cry blood, cry blood, cry blood. economics. Working class people in a state of panic, panic, panic. The cake disappear. So what happened to the sufferer share? For the crumbs they must fight, while the privileged few still holding tight, tight, tight. Cry blood, 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 cry blood.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
So I like to do this one for the ladies. Ah, yeah. One more him back. Check it out. Sweet lady, would you be